Hello, everybody, and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer this evening, Logan Landers, and joining me, as always, on Wednesdays to do these amazing draft profile breakdowns is the man himself, Mr. Football, Vincent Turner. How you doing, Vincent?
How you doing this evening, sir?
Hey, I can't complain one bit, Vince. It's a great Wednesday, as always. Love talking football with you. Guys, if you haven't seen any of these videos before, Vincent is a football encyclopedia. He will tell you any and everything about these players, and I'm just here to provide a little bit of commentary, and I'm going to give you my three teams who I think this man's going to go to in just a little bit. You got to stay tuned for that. But we're talking about Payton Turner, the young man out of Houston, big guy. Vince, why don't you go ahead and tell these guys, tell the fans outside what they need to look for with Payton Turner. And also, if you guys like this video, like, comment, share. We love all the stuff you guys got going. So, VT, take it away. What do you like about Payton Turner out of Houston?
Well, I'm going to tell you about Mr. Turner. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the draft at the defensive end position. He came to the University of Houston at 6'5", 217 pounds as a true freshman. What happened was he was being highly recruited in high school, but he had a serious knee injury his senior year. A lot of teams backed off Power 5 conferences, and then he only got one major offer, and that was with the University of Houston. Another thing I like about the young man, he got to Houston, was originally supposed to play defensive end, but the Houston coaches came to him and said, hey, man, we want you playing inside on the defensive line. Within 2 seasons, the young man put on 70 pounds and got up to 290. So his sophomore, junior, and part of his freshman season, he played defensive tackle. Then they came back to him his senior year and said, hey, man, for you to get to the next level, which is the National Football League, we think you need to drop 20 pounds. He did that. And then you see what kind of football player that he became at 6'5", 270 pounds. Now, you know, Logan, I always have my grade report every week on these players. So let me start with my grade report. Mr. Payton Turner, when you're talking about power, A+. His size, A+, 6'5", 270. He's probably going to gain 20 more pounds. He's going to probably be 6'5", 290. The hands, seriously, with the joke, A+. Then his first step, A+. Then a high motor, A+, then his effort, A+. Then you look at what he did in 2020, his production. This year, he had 25 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, and he had 5 sacks. But the most important thing, what I liked about him, that in his senior year, he played all along the line of scrimmage, and he gave nice production. Then think about this. He came out of the University of Houston, which had some great defensive players over the years. Leonard Mitchell, Winston Whitley, my man at the linebacker position, one of the best that ever played in Houston, Lamar Latham, that went on to play with the Houston Oilers. 2 guys out of my hometown, the 901, Memphis, Tennessee. Shout outs to Brian Wynn and Eric Blunt. Then they had an outstanding safety by the name of Alton Montgomery. But what his game reminds me of, he's a guy that comes off the edge with power, where he just get in the tackle and he move. And he takes me back to a young man that played at Grambling University, played with the great coach Eddie Robinson. He passed this past year, won 2 Super Bowl rings, the gentleman, the legend, Willie Davis out of Texarkana, Arkansas. Then another guy reminds me of a guy that played with the Fearsome Force and with the LA Rams back in the day when they had Rosie Greer, Marilyn Olsen, the great Deacon Jones, my man Lamar London, same size, same power. Then another guy who reminds me of, out of the 901, played locally here, a legend in Atlanta Falcons football history, the legend, Mr. Claude Humphrey. And finally, another guy who reminds me of, I'm talking about power as a defensive end, the young man that was out of Beaumont, Texas, an All-American at Michigan State in 1966, went on with a great career with the Baltimore Colts, and he became a professional actor with Police Academy. My man, he passed a couple of years ago, Bubba Smith. So when you look at Mr. Payton Turner, that's what you're gonna get as a football player and a guy that can rush the passer. And when I look at him overall, some team is gonna be very blessed and lucky to draft this young man.
Yeah, you brought up a good point, Vince. He's a tremendous pass rusher. A+ on all those intangibles you just listed. I'm with you 100% on that. And hey, I like to give my 3 teams, my predictions, where I think this young man might head to. So without further ado, if you like my picks, let me know. If you think that I'm completely wrong, if you want to go to another team, drop a comment. We love the interaction. So without further ado, the first team I got Payton Turner going to is the Indianapolis Colts. Denico Autry, he might not be coming back. They might need someone to replace him. And why not get the young man out of Houston at 6'6"? Like you said, Vince, he might gain another 20 pounds, go up to 290. So he might be a good replacement for Autry. My second team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. They need a little bit of help at that edge position. No doubt about it. They need to get that killer defense back. They got a little bit of a ways to go if they want to get back to their Super Bowl glory days from a couple of seasons past. But I think that if they can get Payton Turner, that might be a step in the right direction. And my last team, the third and final team I got on my watch list where he might go, we're keeping it local, Vince. We live out of the Atlanta metro area. I got him going to the Atlanta Falcons as my third team. Now, the reason being, man, we know the Falcons, they need a lot of help. They need a new edge rusher. There's no doubt about that. Vic Beasley, he had that good season a couple of years ago. Outside of that, hasn't looked too good. Tack McKinley, another one they drafted, thought he'd be very good. It didn't work out as well. And then this last season when they got Dante Fowler, like, all right, we got one finally. That didn't work also. So they've been desperately looking for an edge rusher for a while now and someone to really disrupt the quarterback. That's something that the Falcons have been missing for a couple of seasons now. And I think that if they were able to get Mr. Turner, that would help them out tremendously. The Falcons have a really good team. It's just they need a few holes they got to fill in order to get to that next level, I think. So those are my three teams about where I think Mr. Payton Turner might head to. I say, if you think I'm right, let me know. And if I'm wrong, I'm cool with that too. I can take a lot of criticism. But, hey, Vince, let me know your final thoughts on Payton Turner.
I like the young man out of the University of Houston. Kudos to the state of Texas. They had some problems a couple of weeks ago with the weather. We like to send out our blessings here for 100 yards of football and hope everybody's doing well down in the state of Texas. My final words on Mr. Turner, it goes back to the young man out of Detroit, Michigan, a great musician by name of Ray Parker Jr. Mr. Payton Turner is going to be hot stuff in the 2021 NFL draft. That's my final words on the gentleman from the University of Houston. Go Cougars.
Yeah, really, really good human being, real humble as well. That's always nice to see, a real down-to-earth type of guy. But he can get it done on the field. The production is there, and I'm excited to see where he's going to land in the NFL draft that's coming up in April. I'm looking forward to it. And whatever team gets this young man, they're going to get not only a great football player, but an amazing human being as well. So, hey, if you guys have enjoyed this video here today, we're live on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitch. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Also, y'all know already, we got a podcast. Go check us out over on Spotify. Just type in 100 Yards of Football, and you'll see our logo there with the football on the 50-yard line, where you can check out all of our previous draft profiles, our old Legends interviews, our old game previews, see if we got the games right. We have some basketball content as well. We have a whole lot of stuff over there on the podcast. It's an almost daily podcast. We got all these episodes coming out. We're also available on Apple Podcast as well. If you want to go check us out over there, we are available where all the episodes are up live. And if you have an Alexa or Google Home device, something along that nature, you can just say, hey, type in 100 or say 100 Yards of Football, and we'll pop up. We're all over the place. What can I say? We're doing good. We're doing great things here at this network, and we got a great team. Of course, we got Mr. Football Vince Turner, Kevin the Bull Jones, our amazing producer Jeremiah Long, two-time All-American, former Atlanta Falcon Bobby Butler, Coach Kevin Jones. We got a great crew, guys. It's been a pleasure on this network, man. And hey, without further ado, let's wrap things up real quick. We've been talking about Payton Turner, the young man out of the University of Houston with the Cougars. Well, I'm looking forward to see where he's going to go in the NFL draft. And guys, stay tuned because we have another great NFL draft profile coming up in just a little bit. See you soon.